Coach Stone Podcast.
Coach Stone Podcast number 44. I want to thank everyone for listening to Coach Stone Podcast. I want to thank JC Hawks Radio, JC Hawks Sports Network, BJ for letting me do this. If you ever miss an episode of any of my podcasts, you can listen to them on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Google Play under JC Hawks Radio. Also, remember to go to my website for more information about my podcast, blogs, books, football tips, and free PE games. Go to www.coachstonefootball.com. Also, I recommend when you go to my website, go to the bottom of my website for promo codes or links of all the products that I think that would help you as a coach or a player. Some you'll hear during the commercial breaks on this podcast. Remember, if you haven't seen my Back to the Basics football drill manuals, I highly recommend them. They are on Amazon.com, hardcover and Kindle. There are currently 16 football books out, 6 are tackle, 1 flag book, 1 tackle bar book, football clinic notebook, mom's edition book, junior edition, 4 DIY football books, over 2,900 pages of football drills and content. Without further ado, I cannot wait for this guest because if you are a football coach, this is probably the must-listen podcast for Coach Stone Podcast in all 44 episodes. I have Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. Here we go. Coach, are you there?
I'm here. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, and I don't mean to call you Coach, but I think that your item that you're about to present to everyone in the world, I think this is a ideal situation. So I apologize, Keith, but let's tell the listeners the whole game plan, right? We're going to have a pregame. You're going to tell us a little about yourself and the company, and then we're going to go a kickoff question, and then we're going to go a first drive question. Halftime, we're going to talk about this product even more because I don't want to really give up all the thing yet. Kickoff return question, second drive question, 2-minute words of wisdom, and then the game is over if there's no overtime. Coach, are you ready to go?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Perfect. Okay, pregame. Tell us a little bit about the company and where you can buy these items, social distance, everything, but tell us about yourself first. Go.
Yeah, so my name's Keith Bristol. I'm actually a Midwestern guy. I grew up in Nebraska. I know you're an Illinois guy, so Midwestern roots there. I grew up where I went to school there and kind of migrated west. I was always in advertising, kind of the beginning part of my life, and then sort of in my late 20s, decided to jump into ecommerce and startup world. So back in, I don't want to date myself here, but back in the the late 90s, kind of moved to Denver and joined a startup and kind of really, at that point got startup juice in my blood and always just loved starting businesses from scratch, kind of coming up with the idea, working with a team and coming from like back of the napkin idea to launching a product. So I did that for quite a few years and then consulted for a little bit, had some really good wins there with some startups I did, and then decided to consult a bit. And then fast forward to kind of where we're at now, through that journey of life and meeting a bunch of great people through that process. Buddy of mine that I worked with when I was at eBags in Denver, and he was at Tumi in New Jersey, reached out to me about this idea he had for a backpack that the short version, and I'll get into this a little bit later, is the backpack basically that is a business case backpack that has a hidden suitcase compartment. So when you travel, you can expand this hidden suitcase compartment and essentially pack anywhere from 2 to 3 days worth of clothes when you travel. And really the idea behind that is for us as travelers, I mean, I know you travel a lot, Coach, is trying to stay hands-free and not have to juggle a bunch of bags around when you're traveling. But it's a great product that you use every day, in the office or now being mobile even in your own home, or, some places you can go to coffee shops or whatever. So really the idea is a backpack that converts and is a multi-purpose backpack that you can use however you want it. And I'll get into a little bit more of that later, but you can buy it exclusively online at KnackBags.com, and that's KnackBags.com.
And then, Coach Keith, do me a favor. Tell us the social media links. Like, no one knows really what the KnackBags are yet because we haven't really dove into this. But, like, for someone that travels, or any, like, coach out there, or any person traveling, any teacher, anyone listening to this broadcast that is like me and don't want to check their luggage in or do stuff like that, or just want a backpack that does it all, can you give us all the social media links so they can check that stuff out and all that stuff?
Yeah, Coach. Yeah, thanks. So we're on all the major social media sites, and it's really easy to find us. You basically just type in the URL and then /KnackBags, and that's KnackBags.com. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you can find us all there. And it's like, for the example of Twitter, it's twitter.com/KnackBags. Facebook would be facebook.com/KnackBags, Instagram.com/KnackBags, and so on. If you don't want to do that, you can always go to our website, and we have the links at the bottom of our website that you can follow as well.
And that's www.knackbags.com, correct, Coach?
Correct. You bet.
Perfect. Coach Stone podcast number 44. Got Keith Bristol on the phone, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. Okay, Coach, here we go. What made your company come up with these products? And then tell us what the KnackBags are all about. The floor is yours. Go.
All right. Sounds great. Yeah, so, coming up with these products, it was out of necessity. It was interesting. My co-founder, is actually his idea. He was on a fishing trip with some buddies, and he was in Costa Rica, and basically in the airport, and he had some work that he needed to get done. He didn't need to bring a lot of clothes with him because he's going to be on a fishing trip. So in his hand, he had a briefcase, he had a duffel bag, he had a cup of coffee, he had his phone, and the duffel bag was, slipping off of his shoulder, and he's in lines waiting to get on planes, and, he doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, so he was like, trying to, talk to people in Spanish and using his phone as an app, and he was just having a horrendous time. He's like, the experience was not pleasant. And he's like, when I get back, I'm going to look online, and I'm just going to get a bag that I can, buy that will work in any situation and expand when I need it, and use it kind of however I want it, a multi-purpose bag. So he came back and started looking, and he's like, I couldn't find anything. He looked all over and searched everywhere, and there was nothing out there. And with his background, I think I mentioned earlier in the pregame was, his background is Tumi. He worked at Tumi for many years, and him and I met when I was at eBags. I ran the Tumi.com website back in the day, and he's worked at Coach, and we've worked with North Face. So we both have a bag background. And, he said, man, he was at a good point in his life where he was actually going to potentially look to buy a company or, create this brand. And he reached out to me and said, hey, I've got this idea. I went and looked around, and I couldn't find it. And immediately it resonated with me because I'm a business traveler, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Coach, as you're traveling around. It sounds like you travel a ton. I don't know how many times I, get on a plane where I have a 2-night business trip or something like that, and I've got a carry-on suitcase and my backpack, and I don't need all that room. I'm a pretty light packer, but not light enough that I could just put it in a backpack. So immediately it resonated with me, and I was like, oh my God, this is really, really a great idea. And so I helped. We kind of basically said, let's do this. We are actually a remote company, which actually benefits us quite a bit. He's on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. And we just started building the product. We did tons of customer surveys for people. We did tons of prototyping. And basically then I got the first prototype and actually flew out to see him. And as I used this product, I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, this will be really nice and really neat thing to do. And that first time I used it, I I was hooked. Like, for the first time, like, I was able to throw all my stuff in one bag. I didn't have to wait I had a layover flight to get to the place where he was. So on the layover, I didn't have to check luggage. And I guess it didn't really hit me at that point until I got off the plane, and I see a huge line of people waiting for all their checked bags that they had to check before they got on the plane. And I just walked right off. And I was like, oh my God, that just saved me probably 20 minutes alone. And, during that trip alone, I had 2 or 3 layovers. So that time adds up. And, at that point too, I was getting off and I was walking around New York City when I was like for the first time able to get off a flight and jump in an Uber and go downtown and not have to drag a wheeled carry-on with me as I'm going to a business meeting. I mean, it was just like the experience was like so much better and so much smoother. And at that point I was like, wow, this is a game changer in the bag industry. And it really is, because, I don't want to bore everyone with bag talk because,
no, it's okay.
Coach podcast, but traditional bag companies, their whole idea and their whole way that they run their company is single purpose bags. They create a single purpose bag. So us as consumers, we've always been taught, okay, if I need a gym bag, I'm going to go get a gym bag. If I need a backpack, I'm going to go get a backpack. If I need a carry-on, I'm going to go get a carry-on. What we're trying to do is really reinvent that and create one bag that does multiple things. So our bag you can use as a gym bag, you can use as a carry-on, you can use as a business case every day, but it has all these things, and I'll get into this in a little bit, but like it's really endless where our bag how it can be used. We're talking about travel right now, but it's, it can be used in any situation. Parents, using it as a diaper bag. I mean, it's pretty endless. And so our really philosophy is to create this multi-purpose product line. Right now, it's just backpacks. We're a 2-year-old company, so we just launched 2 years ago. Actually, we had our 2-year anniversary in November.
November 5th.
Yes, November 5th, we shipped our first product, and it's been amazing. I mean, the feedback has been unbelievable. People really, really love the product, and I think the biggest surprise for us, we're very big on quality. We do a ton of testing, and with our background, we definitely want to create a quality bag that, because you can use it in all these different ways, it's got to have a really high quality. So, we spend a lot of time on that, and we read all of our customer reviews, and it's really amazing to read all the different ways people use this product.
And one thing, Keith, I don't mean to interrupt you. The one thing I love when I read all this stuff and I looked into your company, and when I asked you, the biggest thing I liked is with your blog, with you and Chad on there. I loved how you talk about your November 9th blog is lessons from the 2 years in business, and how you listened to all the consumers that bought a bag from you in those 2 years, and how you made the bags better, and that's exactly huge. And I, for anyone that ever had a travel bag or things like that, listen, this company is making it so, one, you have one bag. When you go travel, you have one bag. You want to put your laptop things in there, you want to coach, you want to do stuff, you can put your clothes and everything in there. And they have different sizes, and we'll talk about, like you said, Keith, we'll talk about this more and more with this question, but I think your bags, for being only 2 years and listening to consumers and changing some things, after watching the video with you and Chad, I thought that was amazing. So I just want to say, from a consumer, thank you for listening to the people that buy your product. You know what I mean? Where other companies, they'll just pull out a new bag, where you guys just make different series, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely something, we've been around a while, and we want to do that. I mean, we're really actually building a product that we are taking customer feedback from and making it better versus, again, traditional bag companies. I'm sure they're doing a little bit of that, but I literally read every testimonial that comes in, every customer email that comes in, because it's so important. I mean, especially starting a company, I'm a huge believer in customer service, and we have a great customer service team that really listens to our customers and passes feedback to us. And if you're going to build a quality product and you're going to build something that's going to last a long time, you need to take that feedback and make it better, because everything, in life can be better, right? Like, like I said, we just started, so we are just getting ready to launch a new product line, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But all of that is due to customer feedback. So definitely.
Okay, so tell us about this real quick before we go to the next question. Before we go in the accessories and all inside the bag, there's different bags, right? There's a small, medium, and large, I think. Maybe I'm missing a couple, right? But tell us a little bit about those so people understand.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to your website, you can go to the compared thing. I think you guys have a really good website where it's like, you have your KnackBags, your Knack packs, you call them, and then your accessories, and then you compare, like, the products, where it says that if you want this product, if you want to buy the small one, this is the one you want. And then the one thing I like about your bags, and I don't mean to, like, toot your own horn, is, like, with other bags I've had in the past, they don't expand. Yours actually expand, So tell us about the different sizes. So, like, say if I'm a coach, or let's say I'm a traveler, or I'm only a weekend traveler, like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So, said you nailed it. You could be our sales rep, Coach. We've got three.
I'll tell my wife.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got 3 sizes right now. Again, like I said, we're just getting started, but we've got 3 sizes: a small, a medium, and a large. And the small, the way we look at it, we look at, like, we could get into capacity and all that stuff, but the way we kind of look at it, to boil it down, is like the small is really for a 13-inch computer or smaller, and the expandable part of the bag you can fit anywhere from 1 to 2 outfits in. And the medium is our best seller by far, because it's still really slim for that daily use carry, and you can fit a 15-inch laptop in that one, and when you expand it, you can fit 2 to 3 days worth of clothes in. And then the large one is also a really great one. It obviously carries a bigger computer. That 17-inch holds a 17-inch computer, and then you can fit 3 to 4 days worth of outfits in that one. And yes, go to the site, click on the compare link. It really helps you kind of decide what bag is right for you. And as I told you, when we were talking about this, you were saying, what's the best size, and
Correct.
it really it is difficult. That's the one challenge I'd say we probably have, being online only and exclusively sold at KnackBags. We don't have brick and mortar stores right now. But that's probably the biggest challenge, is people understanding, like, okay, what's the right size for me? Because really it's a combination of, like, how you pack and your kind of stature. Like, I'm a taller guy. You said you're a taller guy. 6'2", 6'3", and I like the medium or the large is really good, but that works great for me. I know people that are shorter than me that pack a lot of stuff, so they buy the large ones. So it really kind of just depends on what you're comfortable with. And again, one of the things that we're really that we find really important is that we have great return policy. So we basically say, get 2 if you don't know. Like, if you're thinking about a medium and a large, order 2 and then just return 1. I think that's one thing that we really said early on. We're like, it's hard to tell sometimes. So that's why we offer that 30-day kind of no questions asked return policy, so that you can go on and heck, if you want, get 3. Interesting. We've had customers get 2 and then 2 different sizes, and they're like, I actually like this one, but my wife liked the other one, so we kept both. So
yeah, that's smart.
It is a pretty amazing. Like, you kind of get them and you start messing around with them. You're like, oh, okay, wow, this is going to work better for me. So that's the high level of what kind of separates them. The rest of the bags look fairly similar to the ones that are on the website now. Like I said, we're launching a new line actually tonight. So by the time this podcast airs, there'll be a new line that you can look at too, and that's a medium-sized bag. That's called the Series 2. That's pretty much the same capacity. It just looks very different.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to commercial break, and then let's talk about the accessories, because I think that's important. Because, I mean, like, if anybody has a bag like this or had a bag like this, I'm going to tell you right now, you can't just shove everything in there, right? You can fold it, roll it, whatever you want to do. But I think your accessories really sell it. And, the one thing I love that I saw that you just came out with, we won't talk about it right now, but it's the shoes. So let's do that. So let's go to commercial break, Coach Stone podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Safe contact, sound fundamentals. Tackle bar football is a safer approach that preserves the tradition and fundamentals of the football game. What is tackle bar football? Tackle bar football is a safer approach to the game that preserves the tradition and spirit of the sport. Players wear traditional football equipment plus a tackle bar harness that holds 2 foam bars across the lower back. The defender must attract and engage with a proper form tackling technique while wrapping the ball carrier and ripping a bar from the harness. With this approach, players stay on their feet rather than taking the ball carrier to the ground. Tackle bar. Coach Stone podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. Okay, Keith, here we go. We talked about the bags. We talked about the size small, medium, and large. And what I liked is when you had your compare thing, you showed the bags, and then you showed people actually wearing the bags and their height. So let's do this now. We didn't really talk about how everything fits in the bag. So let's do this. Tell us about the accessories, and then let's talk about because all the bags pretty much have the same stuff. Then we'll just talk about all the things the bag can do. Okay. So the floor is yours.
Sounds
Go
great.
ahead. Talk about the accessories.
Sounds great. Yeah. So kind of again going back to the way we're building this company and is trying to build a product that's a multi-purpose product, and to do that rather than building a bunch of bags that you can do for special occasions, we have created accessories that go inside your bag. So think of the bag as almost like a vessel, and then all the accessories help you maximize that space in the bag. So we've got anything from packing cubes to packing inserts, and I can talk about those in a little bit. We just came out with my favorite thing, which is a shoe bag that Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times I put my shoes before this in a plastic bag and they get, I don't know, it's crazy, but I'll talk about that a little bit. But really all these accessories, we've also got a water bottle and different things like that. But everything in our accessory line is compressible and it expands. So anything you put in there, you can pack it away and then it compresses. So our packing cubes are a great example to A, stay organized, and B, maximize your space. You can, how I like to look at this is it's almost like a substitute bag within a bag. If you kind of think about it that way, for when I go to the gym, for example, I will put my gym clothes in a packing cube. And when I get to the gym, I pull my packing cube out with my gym clothes, and then zip it back up so it's not expanded. I can throw it in the locker, change, throw all my stuff in that packing cube. Same way if you're going to work, or like what I was talking to you, like if you're dropping off your stuff at the hotel, but you want to keep all your day stuff in the day part of the bag, you just unzip that part, the suitcase part, pull the cubes out, lay them on the bed, zip it back up and go, and there's your daily backpack that's super slim, super lightweight. And that's really the idea behind all of our accessories. And then the shoe bag, brand new, we just came out with that. I absolutely love this thing. It's we've got 2 different sizes. One for I believe it's size 9 and below, men's and women's sizes, and then one for 9 and above for larger shoe sizes. But the idea here is you put the shoes top to bottom, and there's a divider in there. So if you have nice leather shoes or shoes that you don't want to touch each other, they actually keep them away from each other. But then it keeps them away from your clothes, obviously. And it's got a compression strap, so you can crank down on that strap, and all your shoes, you can probably save inches. The way I pack is I pack my shoes that compress a little bit easier in my bag, and then I wear my shoes that don't compress on the plane or wherever I'm going. So tennis shoes will compress down really, really great and save you a ton of space with this thing. So again, the idea is that we're maximizing the space inside the bag. So that's really the package. And these just came out, right? The shoe ones just came out, right? Just came out. Actually, we just start shipping them tomorrow. So that's how awesome. Brand new they are. By the time this launches again, they'll be, you can go on the website and buy them, and they'll ship right away. So yeah, they're there. They're ready to start being purchased, and we did a pre-order. One thing that we do is we have an email list, and we give all the people that sign up on our email exclusive access to new products before they come out. and they can pre-order them to reserve them, because we don't buy huge quantities because we're a smaller company. So those people that sign up for our emails get those spots, and they can reserve their bags. So we just finished with our pre-sale, and we put them on the website, and so far people have they're just going to start shipping. So no one's used them yet, but they're going to be great. I have some prototypes that I've used here, and they're awesome. Yeah.
And they come in gray only. Is that what it is?
They come in gray.
Come in? Oh, perfect. Yep. Yeah, I was just curious. And then tell us about, like, I see the lot, like, I apologize, I'm trolling on your website. Tell us about a little bit about the TSA approved lock, and then the insulated bottle, and let's talk about those things, and then like the zip cord pouch. That looks really cool. The zip cord pouch.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about those items.
Yeah, exactly. So we, again, one of the unique things about our bag is we created a water bottle pocket that fits inside the bag. So, we always walk into meetings and we see people with, like, these bags with their water bottles sticking out, and we're like, it'd be nice to have a water bottle that kind of sticks inside your bag so you don't look like a hiker. So if you're going to meetings and stuff, you look a little bit more professional. So we created, all of our lines have water bottle pockets that are hidden inside, and so we created a insulated water bottle 20-ounce that fits in there great. The cord pouch is awesome for keeping things organized, like your cords, anything small. Like I have multiple of them, and so I have cords in one. I have like snacks and candy for the kids in the other, and not that I give my kids candy, but like it's easy just to kind of keep all those things organized and just pull them out when you need them. And let's see, what was the other thing you asked me about?
The TSA lock. The
TSA lock. Actually, that just launched too. So all these things are brand new products. The TSA lock came out because, interestingly enough, we, again, listening to our customers, we weren't thinking of the security aspect of our bags, but all of our Generation 1 bags did not have lockable zippers, but our Generation 2, which is now the Series 2, the Series 1 bags on the website, 2 of them have lockable zippers, because if you're in a metropolitan area or walking around or international travel, people, there are definitely people out there that are going through bags and stuff. So all of our zippers lock. Well, not all of them, but the main pocket zippers lock. And so we decided to create a TSA lock that fits really well on the bags and looks nice and has our logo on it as well. Because that's a big thing that we, really wanted to help our customers with, to help them, the people that are worried about it and concerned about it, this will help them greatly with that.
And now let me ask you a question. Like, I see you have the sternum strap, the key leash and all that stuff. We don't have to go into all the stuff or the cubes, because you talked about the cubes a little bit, right? The question is this, like, okay, so we get the backpack, right? Tell us about like the front of the backpack. Like, for people that don't go to your website right now, they're just thinking, I'm just going to listen to the coach and Keith talk. Like say if I had a backpack right in front of me and I was facing it, right? And it's like the front of the backpack, like, what is it all? I see it like opens up like kind of like your logo it is, right? Where it opens up like a V or something. But explain like all that right there.
Yeah, so the Series 1 is really a unique bag because all of the not all of them, but the majority of the pockets you can get to from the outside. So there's a lot of zippers. I'll start at the top, which is sort of the top pocket, where you essentially can have I don't know how deep it is, probably 3 or 4 inches deep, and it's a split pocket. What I mean by that is, when you open up that zipper, it's what we call a quick access pocket, and the front part of it is fabric, and you can put everything. I put keys in there, I put my wallet in there, and then the back part of it, think of it as a separation, a divider. The back part has it's padded for your sunglasses, so it's a really nice padding, and you can put your sunglasses in there, and they don't get scratched up. Or your cell phone. So it's a great, really, really nice protective pocket for that type of stuff. So that's what we call our quick access pocket. And then if you go down, it's the triangle pocket is the kind of the iconic look of our bags. I mean, there's not really a bag out there that has that triangle pocket. And that triangle pocket is again, like I said, kind of the iconic, sets our bags apart from the rest. And essentially that one is what I call like the catch-all pocket. I mean, that's the one I keep anything that I need quick access to, a USB drive. I've got gum in there. I've got medicine or
passport or whatever
like that you just need to grab it. Definitely for your passports and things like that. If you want to put your wallets in there, it's a great spot for all that business cards. And then on the bottom, the unique part, and I'm specifically talking about Series 1 right now when I describe this. Series 2 looks very different, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But on the bottom then is what we call our cord pouch or a cord pocket. And so it sits on the bottom. You unzip it, and you put all of your cords in there. And if you put them in our cord pouch inside there, it's just easier to grab them. And where this is really, really handy is it's handy all the time, but especially if you're on the plane, you throw the bag under the seat. By the way, the majority of our bags will fit under the seat expanded with your clothes in it, so you don't have to worry about overhead space. If you have to run on a plane late and you don't have to deal with that, most of them fit underneath there. And so the nice thing about that is you can put your bag under, you take your computer out, put your bag under the seat, and you have access to that pocket to grab all your cords and anything like that. So that's really what that pocket was designed for. And then, the main compartment that you don't see necessarily, you can unzip it, is really for, whether you want papers, whether you want, a lot of people, we have an iPad sort of pocket that's, again, padded. It's got a really nice microfiber padding on it that protects it. We've got mesh pockets that you can see through, so it's really easy to see things that you need. So cords, USB drives, headphones, anything like that you want quick access to. Try to make everything super accessible and organized on the inside. And that main pocket holds pretty much all your daily stuff, So like I said, books, you can even, a lot of people I know actually carry 2 computers. So they put the computer in the computer slot, but they also put another computer in the main spot where the iPad pocket technically is supposed to be. So it's, again, you can use it for a lot of different things on a daily basis.
And the computer is in the back of the backpack, right? It's not.
Yeah. So the unique
thing
back, about
correct?
This is it's a side access pocket that is in the back of the computer, or I'm sorry, in the back of the bag. And a lot of times you'll have it either you have to unzip your bag to get into the computer, but this is really nice because it's totally on the outside, easily accessible, whether you're sitting at a coffee shop working or, for me, I travel or I go to watch my kids' soccer practice, and it's far enough away that I can't drop them off and come home. I'll just sit there and I'll sit on the bleachers and work. I'll pull out my computer and my hard drive, and I'll just sit on the bleachers and work. You can just access it super quickly, and that's really the idea. If you're going through airport security, you can just super easy to get it out of there without digging through your bag. So that's really the idea.
And the cool thing I saw with your bag, well, sorry, Keith. The one thing I saw with your bags is you don't have to if you buy, no matter what size you buy, right? You can make the thing bigger or smaller. It doesn't really matter. I mean, even if you buy a small, it makes it a little bit bigger. If you buy a medium, you buy a little bit bigger. If you buy a large, it gets a little bit bigger. So I really like that. And then you said the packing cubes. They I don't know if you know this, but I'm looking at the video on your website. I'm it felt like there was 12 different zippers out there. I'm seeing everything going into the thing. I'm I gotta see if I can pack everything in for a week-long trip, because there's a lot of stuff in there, and it compresses down to with that flask, with your water bottle in there, that fits in there, and then you got all this other stuff that fits in there. It's amazing how it all does everything. And then I saw that you hold up, you're water resistant, correct? You carry up to, it's up to 40 pounds. I mean, you don't want to put that on your back, but seriously, if you travel a lot and you're packing a bunch of stuff in there, that just helps it out. And then the zippers, the one thing I did was with the old company I used to travel with, is the zippers would always break. With these zippers, these are cast zinc zippers. That's pretty darn good, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're really solid zippers, and, we've actually built them so that if you are yanking on it too hard, again, you never know how people are going to use and our customers are going to use the product. And obviously there are certain people that pack it as much as possible, and they're just yanking down on the zipper. So we've actually created them that if you do that, the zipper pull comes off, and you can easily put it back on versus the actual zipper breaking, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but we've constructed it so that the zipper handle will come off, but you can easily put it back in and just use it. And that's only really, again, like if you're like cranking on it and you're like sitting on it to try and stuff it and shut it, because we know, people do that, right? In an ideal world, no one would do that, but sometimes people do, and we want to create a product that will work and, make that pass that stress test.
That's awesome. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to halftime. Let's put this, I'm going to give you a bunch of stuff. I want to see if you can shove it all in the bag and work, because I don't want to be like that person where you said this shove and shove, shove. I'm going to give you a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to see if you can fit it in the bag, and then we'll come back, and I got a kickoff return question for you, and then we'll go from there. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds great.
Perfect. Coach Stone Podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. We'll be right back after halftime. What legacy will you leave as a coach? The three-dimensional coaching framework empowers coaches at every level to fulfill their transformational purpose by helping them become fundamentally sound, skilled at coaching the mind, and focus on developing the heart. Are you needing to take courses to meet professional development or recertification requirements? If so, check out the different online 3D coaching course offerings at 3dinstitute.com. You can even take the 3D coaching course for 3 graduate credits. Make sure you use the coupon UNITEALL to save 10% on your entire cart. That's UNITEALL, no spaces, all one word, at 3dinstitute.com.
The Big Four, a physical education book written by Coach Anthony Stone, can be purchased through the following locations: Amazon, iTunes, BarnesandNoble.com, and Kobo.
Go Army Edge Football is a free game-changing app that allows coaches to draw their plays with X's and O's like on a whiteboard, and then get the mental reps from the first person's perspective of any position on the field with real-time 3D graphics or virtual reality. Go Army Edge Football comes preloaded with many example plays and drills for concepts such as formation recognition and RPO reads. Any coach in any system can benefit from demonstrating in Go Army Edge Football, and every player can become a better football player with extra reps in the app. Go visit them on their Twitter or Facebook, insert at Go Army Edge.
Brunch, $30.
Hey, that's okay, Wendy. That was a good carry. You're still the man. You're the man.
Latte, $4.
Ooh, shake it off, Johnny. Rub some dirt on it.
New piano, $3,000.
All right, guys. They're not saying boo. They're saying movers.
Supporting your team. Priceless.
It's all right, Bobby. You still got the best arm in the neighborhood.
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
This is decaf, right?
Knack packs were created to make it easier for multitasking mobile professionals to get from point A to point B without lugging a bunch of bags. Our multi-purpose products combine the best features of a stylish, daily-use computer backpack with a patent-pending hidden compartment that you can easily access, expand, and pack like a suitcase whenever you need extra space for travel, the gym, or anywhere life takes you. You can find Knack products exclusively at KnackBags.com. KnackBags.com.
In business for 30 years, Collegiate Sports Data is the most reliable source of high school football prospect information. We are a free service for high schools and athletes. Our focus is getting the right players in front of the right colleges. www.collegiatesportsdata.com.
Coach Stone Podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody right now, I literally gave them like a week's worth of clothes, size 13 shoes, those little squeezable things. Those things are awesome, Keith. So here we go. Kickoff return question. Tell us and some people that buy it, and for me as a football coach that travels, the benefits of having your bag. So the floor is yours. Shoot away. Tell me why everyone that's a coach, teacher, or whoever goes on weekend trips to come back home, they only need one bag, right, like you said. Tell us why. What's the benefits of having this bag? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest benefit, and there's a lot, right? So, but I think the biggest benefit to me is just convenience and time. And I think one of the things that, again, it struck me when I first started using this product is how much time I save traveling now. And so that's just more time I could spend with my family, or if I'm meeting a buddy for, a drink or something, I have, and I'm traveling on the road and meeting friends, it's more time that I get to do things like that because it saves me time when I travel. To me, that's a huge benefit to all those people out there that are listening that travel a lot. But, it's, for me, it's just the convenience of not having to juggle multiple bags as well. I mean, I'm sure we can all relate to, running through the airport or catching an Uber or trying to run to the airport or to the hotel to drop off your bags before you jump into a meeting. I mean, the nice thing about this bag is you don't have to do that. Like having this bag in your life cuts down on all that extra. And I'm just talking about things where you travel, Coach. So there's plenty of things, and I'm using that for you and your audience because that's what you guys do. And and it's great, recruiters out there recruiting and they have to take a quick flight, and they're traveling all over, doing multiple stops. They don't have to worry about, oh crap, did I leave my bag in the hotel room? Like everything's all in one spot, and it really helps the convenience of that. So I think it just, it keeps you more organized. It saves time, and it's just really, really convenient. I think all those things kind of add up to, at least checking this thing out. And like I said, go to our website, KnackBags.com, and look at it. And I think, I strongly recommend reading the reviews. I mean, that's the one thing that we, kind of pride ourselves on. And I've always been a big believer in reviews and listening to people. But, the amount of detail that our customers go into about the bags is pretty amazing. I mean, it's really unbelievable. And so, yeah, those are the big benefits that I can see. And I know you asked kind of like what types of people are buying our bag. Yeah. Gosh, it's everyone. Like I said, I mean, there's traveling. There's entrepreneurs. We definitely have a following of football coaches and recruiters. And I think I mentioned to you that we've even worked with some NFL teams. That where people are traveling, they're on the go. Obviously, with the big elephant in the room is COVID. A lot of people aren't traveling right now, but people still are traveling locally. So whether it's going to the coast and getting away from being in the house for a couple of days and renting an Airbnb just to get away, or those things, like I don't have to pack. I have more room in the car to pack my dog. It's just people use the bag in so many different ways, and whether it's parents, like I said, we have photographers, we have coaches, we have nurses and doctors. We've definitely recently had a ton of nurses and doctors reach out and love this product too, because they're, especially now, on the front lines and taking changes of clothes with them. And again, it's anyone who carries multiple bags is a perfect candidate for buying our product and having our product help them, whether it's saving time or being more convenient. I think those are the things that I personally am excited about. I like that, we can, the biggest thing for me is save time, because as you're a coach and you're a busy guy based on, when you and I have talked, and I'm sure any extra time you can spend with your family, you want to do that. So if we can cut down on, when you travel, we can cut down 20 minutes each way, that's 40 minutes, if not more, that we can give you back in a time that you travel. So all those things are really important, especially now with everything that everyone's going through. I think it's important to have that time to spend with people that you're interested in and you love. So that's kind of what we're all about, and what,
and I think what
you should be looking at.
Oh, sorry, Keith. I think the two things I saw was when you said it, I know there was more benefits, but more organized and save time. If you are a person that travels on a plane for your business, or let's say you're a football coach and you're traveling to go to a game or something like that, or you're, whatever, having a one-stop shop with a backpack like this is beneficial and saves time. Like when you get to the airport, you just gotta go right in, and especially if you're TSA pre-check, you're in right now. I love it when my wife drops me off, or when I go to big trips, because how when you're parking in Chicago, it like costs. Like, I remember one time I traveled to UK and I'm like, I'll park my car, and then I come back and the bill I was like, holy cow, But now when I get dropped off, I just get dropped off. I go right through the checkout. I'm done, and it takes me like anywhere from 5 minutes to 2 minutes to 5 minutes to get in and out, to get start walking towards your terminal. I mean, I think it's phenomenal, especially now with your bag. You do everything where it's like this. Like you said, you can get one, get two, whichever one you think. With me, I'm a guy that's gonna have to travel with a couple more things. So a large backpack is like my thing. So I have that extra stuff, and I might need that extra computer or those hard drives, like you said, and just by packing the stuff in there, and then with the frontline workers, they can take those laundry bags you guys got and put their stuff in there, and then when they get home, just throw it right in. Like when we get home from school, my wife says everyone takes a shower, right? That's the first thing. That's a rule we have in our house with everything going on. You come in, you take a shower before you do anything else. With this bag, if you were like a frontline worker or somebody else, you can just put it, boom, in there, take it home, throw it right in the washing machine, boom, you're good to go. And saving the time, being organized, having the different pouches, and like it's. I mean, I don't know, Keith, if you have you ever watched the show Doctor Who? It's the scientific show in the United Kingdom.
I know what it is, but I haven't really watched it.
Yeah. So if anybody's asking me like this backpack by looking at it, and you got to go to the website. The website is knackbags.com. It's like a TARDIS. I mean, I hope no one gets in trouble. And Doctor Who, I love you, so I give you guys a lot of money, you know that. But I'm like, it's like your backpack. Everything fits in there that you need. That's essential. Anything you need. Water bottle, check. Like you guys said, you got reviews, you wanted a lock, boom, you created it. Shoe pouch, created it. You guys created all these things for this, and that's phenomenal. And I mean, these bags, if you haven't looked at them yet, please go to their website, knackbags.com, for more information. So, Keith, these things are awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's do this. Let's go to commercial break. We'll come back. I got the second drive question, the thing that I want to know about all the new stuff coming out, okay? So we'll be right back after this, okay?
Awesome.
Perfect. Coach Stone podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Watch game film, the simple and affordable way to watch, exchange, and manage game film. Watch Game Film has been around for 10 years and works with all sports and all levels of play. Subscriptions start at $100 per team and include unlimited film. www.watchgamefilm.com.
Coach Stone podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. All right, Coach, here we go. Second drive question. Any new products coming out now or just released? I know we talked about the shoe thing, so you can talk about that a little bit, but tell us about that and your new product, or why you guys came with a shoe thing, and then the new product. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, so new products coming out. Again, we talked about the shoe bags, which, everyone should definitely go check out. Those start shipping tomorrow. But the thing I'm really excited about that's getting launched here shortly is called the Series 2. So essentially it's our medium-size Knack pack, and it's coming out, and it just has a different look. And really the idea behind that was kind of feedback from customers of features and different things. I mentioned earlier that security was a big thing for a lot of people, not so much for others. But one of the things that we realized is like, okay, if people are really concerned about security, we want to create a bag that's essentially all the pockets are inside. So if you think about this from a visual standpoint, our Series 1 is very, when you look at it, as you mentioned, Coach, like most of the pockets are accessible from the outside. Not all of them.
Yeah,
there's some that you can get to on the inside. But it's really easy just to get to things without having to open up your bag and dig through a bunch of stuff. This one, Series 2, is much more minimal from a aesthetic look. I mean, you can basically, it's essentially 3 pockets, and they're all lockable pockets. So you can go and if you're really concerned, you can essentially lock everything up. The one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that we do have RFID blocking material in most of our pockets as well, so that anybody that's in public, trying to skim your cards or anything like that, it's RFID blocking. So that's another kind of level of security as well. So that's really the thing. And
Keith, let me ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So what I can't say it, the RDFL or whatever it's called. What's it called again?
RFID. So it basically it's a material that blocks anyone who can come and skim believe it or not, there are people out there that come and try and skim your cards, get your information from them. So it blocks that.
So we're like, I saw the video, right, and we talked about it earlier, the sunglass spot. Is it where you put the sunglasses at? Is that zipper protected?
No,
or is it the one that's below it?
In the Series 1, it's the triangle. Yeah.
Okay, the triangle
pocket underneath.
So whatever I put in the triangle, whatever I put inside that little triangle spot, that's protected, correct?
Yep. There's a main pocket in there. The main pocket is protected, not the entire pocket. So if you go to our website,
the main pocket
hopefully explains it a little bit better. But you can see in there the section. On the new bag, it's the whole front pocket. So
that's awesome.
So it's great. Yeah, I mean, all those things are things we took into consideration. So from a visual standpoint, it just looks, I would say it's more minimalistic, I guess is a better way to say it. I think both bags look great, but one is a little bit more intricate with zippers. One is very minimalistic, and it also has the Series 2 has some leather accents, leather bottom. But the biggest difference in this is, again, listening to the feedback from our customers, is so this is our kind of third generation we launched, and our Series 1 is our second generation. We no longer sell our first generation. And when we launched our second generation, we did, I think, 40 plus updates from customers that said, hey, your generation 1's great, but I'd like to have this or that. And so we took all that and we made it better. But there were a few things we didn't get to, and one of them was a side handle. We weren't able to do a side handle on our Series 1. But on Series 2, there's a side handle component to these bags. So you can tuck away the backpack straps and zip them up, and you can't even tell that they're there, and then you can carry this thing like a briefcase. So there are people that really like to carry bags as briefcase. So it kind of just adds another dimension to the way you want to carry your bag. So if you're walking into a meeting and you want to look more professional and not wear a backpack, you can zip the straps up. They come off really easy, really nice clips that come off, and tucks away underneath in the back. And you just turn this thing on its side, and it turns into a briefcase. And no one would ever know it's a backpack. So it's just another dimension. Again, so in that one, you're essentially kind of getting 3 bags. I always say when you buy our bags, you're essentially getting 2 bags. And the second bag one is a briefcase backpack, briefcase/backpack, and the other one is an extra compartment that you can use for whatever bag, whether it's, gym bag, carry-on, whatever. And so with this one, it's actually like a third dimension because you're actually getting a briefcase you can carry. But it's still got the same hidden expandable. Our hidden expandable compartment is patent pending, the technology we've used on it, because you really, like, when I show people, if I'm talking to somebody or showing them the product, they're like, whoa, I don't even see where the zipper is. Like it's very hidden. It's got a flap that hides it. So you can't even really tell when it's compressed that there's an expandable part about it, which is really nice. And that's that sort of day use thing that I was talking to you about earlier. Like if you're traveling, you can take the stuff out of the suitcase compartment, which is separate from your business things, rather than throwing your underwear in with your computer. Like you don't have to worry about that with this, with this bag. It's a completely separate compartment. You can unzip that, zip it back up, and it's a really slim, nice case that you can go and use for, whether you're coaching or you just want to go and have something lighter to carry on it, after you check in, and carry it on a daily basis. That's what this whole concept is about. So So yeah,
That's
those
awesome.
are like I said, I think that launches tonight. We're launching it tonight, so by the time this airs, you'll definitely be able to see it. Go to knackbags.com and you'll see it on the homepage, and it's called Series 2. And that will come out in 2 different colors, by the way. One's a really cool, it's called Storm Gray, and it's a kind of a medium gray color, really cool fabric. And then the other one's called Midnight Black. It's just really sleek looking. I call it it looks like, very, very stealth. It's like a stealth bomber. I love it. And it's really, really cool. So those will be on the site for sale. And we have a limited edition of them in before the holidays. So if this airs before the holidays and you want to get one as a gift or buy one for yourself and you want it before Christmas, you definitely would need to get on it quickly because they're selling, pre-sale selling pretty quickly. So it's good stuff.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to commercial break. We'll come back with 2-minute words of wisdom, and then we'll probably wrap this bad boy up, okay?
Sounds great.
Hey, this is awesome. Coach Stone Podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. We'll be right back after this commercial break. The safety of your players is more important than ever. As the game changes to protect the players, Tackle Tube USA is a leading way with the original innovative product design, not only to practice safer, but promote and teach the best tackling technique. Invented in 2009 by professional rugby player and coach Glenn Remnant, Tackle Tube allows the players to simulate real game situations, track and tackle a moving target, promote great body position, and improve technique and timing. Coaches in the U.S. and all over the globe are using Tackle Tube to promote a safer and more effective way to tackle. Unlike other bags that have a limited use, there are many ways to use a Tackle Tube in your practice, both in season and out of the season. Drills for every position. Tackle Tube never needs to leave the practice field. Check us out at TackleTubeUSA.com or on our YouTube channel and all social media. Look for Tackle Tube USA. Coach Stone Podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. Okay, here we go, Keith. 2-minute words of wisdom. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
All right. Thanks, Coach. 2 minutes of wisdom. I don't know if I can handle 2 minutes of wisdom, but I'll try. I would say, the biggest thing for me, the biggest thing for me, I would just say, with the pandemic and everything that's going on is, and I alluded to it earlier, I think you kind of find the important things in life, and the important things in life are, family, friends, and what we're trying to do here, kind of going back to what Knack is all about, is giving everyone more time to spend with their family or their friends or doing the things they love versus the hassle of, doing the daily grind. And so, I guess my words of wisdom would be, check out KnackBags. Definitely if you're interested in spending more time with your family, and because those 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, half hour here, half hour there, definitely add up over time. And I think those are the types of things that, we want to be spending more time doing. And I think more now than ever, I think people are realizing that's, I think most people realize that before, but, life gets crazy and you start getting sidetracked with other things. But I think now, people are really focused on that. So I would just say, if we can help with that, then we've done our job as a company. So that's my 2 words, and 2 minutes of wisdom.
Well, it was under 2 minutes, but here we go. Let's add more time to it. Tell everyone, again, your website, where to like it on Twitter, where to like it on Facebook, do all that stuff right there. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, again, we're sold exclusively online, and that is knackbags.com, and that's KnackBags.com. And you can find us on all the major social media outlets, and you can find us or tag us by looking for @KnackBags. But again, on Twitter, it's twitter.com/KnackBags, facebook.com/KnackBags, instagram.com/KnackBags, LinkedIn, you can just search us up. YouTube is a great place to go and look for us. Again, type in KnackBags or KnackPacks, and you'll see us there. And again, if you don't feel like doing that, you can just go to our website, knackbags.com, and we have all the social links in our footer that you can follow. So those are all great places to look. And like, if you're interested in learning more about KnackBags, I would suggest signing up for our email program, because as I mentioned earlier in the show, we give what we call our Knack Packers exclusive access to early product releases, because we do limited edition things specifically for our Knack Packers. So it's great to sign up for that stuff and learn about. We also, talk about the company and share stories. I mean, we didn't talk about that, but we share stories from our customers of how they use their product, how they use KnackBags, and how it helps them, whether it's traveling or going from the kitchen to the living room with all their stuff in their bag. It's all good stuff and really great stuff to read and great content to help you make your decision on whether KnackBags is right for you.
That's awesome. And yeah, you can go to their website, read their blogs, and look at everything they have there. It's a very good website. Coach, I have just people that listen in the U.S. We also have overseas people. Do you ship outside the U.S. of A? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, we currently ship in the U.S. and Canada, and those two countries right now are where we're shipping. We hope to expand into Europe next year, and but we also have a shipping page on our site where we have quite a bit of international. We do quite a bit of international business, and what our customers do internationally will use freight forwarders. And so they'll buy the product and use a freight forwarder, or if they're traveling to the U.S., they order ahead of time and have it shipped to their hotel or Airbnb or wherever they're staying. So interestingly enough, even though we don't technically sell in a lot of different countries, we have customers from around the world. They find ways to make it happen and get it done and get a bag, and they love it. So they're begging us to launch internationally. So it's definitely on the roadmap.
That's awesome. Great. Okay, Coach, Keith, that's it, man. The game is over. This has been a blast. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait to start using one of these bags. This is going to make my life a lot easier. My wife's going to be like, now you can pack yourself. And I'm going to be like, oh, great. Now I got to do more for myself, right? Because you know how the coaches' wives are. Well, I don't care what any coach says. If you have that coach's wife, she takes care of you, especially when you're sick or you lose a game and you're talking. This is ideal. This could be the greatest gift for Christmas, for those coaches. The coaches' wives, buy this Knack bag for them. So, and what's your hashtag again, you said?
Hashtag One Bag Life.
One Bag Life. That's awesome.
Yep, exactly.
Well, Keith, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm going to wrap things up, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I just want to thank you to Coach Stone for having me. I really appreciate it. Love how inspired you are about the bag, and inspired you are about teaching and helping kids too. I think that's phenomenal what you're doing just as a person.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing that.
I appreciate. Hey, listen, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I only have like another 17 more years of teaching, but I'm not counting down because I know I'm going to miss it. And coaching and traveling and with my company and teaching, it's something I love to do. And I appreciate you coming on and teaching me and others about your product to help us save time and spend, like what I want to do, spend more time with the family. So
that's right.
Again, Keith, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
All right. Take care. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Coach Stone Podcast number 44, Keith Bristol, Chief Digital Officer of KnackBags. I want to thank him again for being on the show. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank JC Hawks Radio, JC Hawks Sports Network, BJ. Thank you for letting me do these podcasts. If you ever miss an episode of any of my podcasts, you can listen to them on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Google Play under JC Hawks Radio. Also, remember, go to my website for more information about podcasts, blogs, books, football tips, and free P games. Go to CoachStoneFootball.com. Also, I recommend when you go to my website, go to the bottom of my website for promo codes or links to all the products that I think that will help you as a coach or a player. Some you'll hear during the commercial break on this podcast. Remember, if you haven't seen any of my books, Back to the Basics, Football Drill Manuals, I highly recommend them. It is on Amazon.com, hardcover, Kindle. There are currently 16 books out, 6 tackle books. There are 1 flag book, 1 tackle bar book, football clinic notebook, mom's edition book. There is a junior edition, 4 DIYs, over 2,900 pages of football drills and content. Again, I want to thank Keith Bristol for coming on the podcast, Coach Stone Podcast 44. Always remember, instilling confidence by laying a foundation. Thank you and have a great day. Coach Stone Podcast 44.
Coach Stone Podcast.